Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Dynamite Book. I am Lyric, aka at Lyric Wrestling on the Twitters, and my co-host. Oh, other way.
I am Low of Wrestling Wind Down. You can find me at WWDCAST.
So this is really special. Like this is our first episode, so we're super excited to be doing this, talking about Dynamite. Now, I will say it is kind of unfortunate that out of all the Dynamites that we had to start with, we started with this one. Now, I love Dynamite, but
there was some interesting stuff happening
there
tonight.
was some interesting stuff that happened, and all of it wasn't bad. I do want to preface it. There was a lot of great things that happened. So let's start from the beginning. So we started off with the AEW International title match, Orange Cassidy versus Claudio Castagnoli. And so I will say, I think this was by far the strongest match on the card. I will say it wasn't much competition outside of the women's match, the women's 8, but we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. But I really enjoyed this match. How do you feel about the story that's being told right now with Orange Cassidy?
Well, let me start with this.
Okay.
The vibe that Claudio gave was that song, Don't Mess With My Man, okay? They messed with his man, okay? They messed with Brian Danielson, and he was coming for revenge. I don't blame him. Don't mess with his man.
Period.
Honestly, Orange Cassidy fights for his life every single time he's in the ring, and somehow he prevails. Like, every single time. I remember when I was in Chicago for All Out Weekend, this man went through it and still won.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, sir, he needs a vacation.
He's not taking one. He don't even want it.
He said no days off. Sweetie, you need at least a day. It's a weekend.
Crazy people. Two crazy people.
And then the crazy people are fighting.
Exactly. I completely agree. I think that Claudio, he has like, okay, fine, I'm gonna step up. I'm gonna be the daddy of the Blackpool Combat Club. Y'all gonna get off. You done broke down Brian. His face is broken. Y'all, Mox was on the shelf. He ain't even wrestled again yet. You'd never know what's going on. Now you the beefing with Hook don't even know why he beefing with Hook.
Okay, but can we please explain the look that Hook has? It's like just left school at 4, coming to AE Dynamite at 5 with the backpack. Like, what's in the backpack? What you got in there? You got some snacks?
He got his belt in there too.
I mean, yeah, but just the belt.
I mean, and his chips.
Yeah, you're right. The chips.
Because he carry his chips with him all the time. I will say now the actual match was great. There was a moment in there where Claudio countered a DDT with a swing. I ain't never.
Yes, that was insane.
I have never seen anything like that before. And I would just like to say, I've really appreciated Claudio's work this year. Like, he's probably in my top 15 wrestlers this year. He's been so solid, so consistent. I think he's gotten much more comfortable on the mic. It's actually crazy. I don't know. He's only been out of WWE for a year, but he's just become this talker now. Like,
I know we really didn't hear him talk before. All we heard him say was, "We are the bar," with Sheamus. But he's a talker now. But back to that DDT with the swing, I'd like to report a crime because
they ate that.
They ate it, but damn, I'm worried about Orange. He's trying to turn it into some orange juice in here.
For sure.
Don't squeeze him.
I will say, like, I love when Orange Cassidy really gets angry and like he gets into that element. And you can tell that Jon Moxley really brought that out of him. And like it's even like, I love like he's a very subtle storyteller. So even now, like, he's still, ever since that match with Mox, the t-shirt that he wears is the bloody t-shirt, like the one with the blood. And he flat out says, like, well, the first reign was all about defending the title as much as he can. And even though he's still defending, it's more so now it's all about, I just want to beat up Mox because he left me in a bloody heap in Chicago. And that's exactly what he did. I will say, like, woo! Yeah, he left him in a puddle of his own blood in Chicago.
Had his friends carry him out.
Had his friends carry him out. It was really graphic. And so you can see like he's really been unlocking, like, you know, he doesn't even do like the fake kicks as much anymore because he just started really ramming at him. I'm like, oh my goodness. But Orange got the win by the skin of his teeth. Obviously, Mox jumps in, and you know what I appreciate about Mox, that it's like, you know how you growing up and like girls will start fighting in middle school, and then there's that one friend who's like outside of the fight and is just like, we ain't doing no jumping. We ain't doing no jumping. So Claudio's just literally standing there with his back turned just to make sure that nobody else come out. Meanwhile, Mox is whacking on this man. I'm talking about boom. Whacking on this man non-stop, talking about we ain't doing no jumping. Security come out. That's when Claudio really jump in.
Honestly, Claudio was given SZA. I can't see. I'm blind.
Man by his stomach, grabbed a grown man by his stomach and literally threw him by the gut outside of the ring. Then Mox just going crazy. And Claudio always has this thing that, like, whenever Mox get a little too riled up, he always just picks him up and carries him away. Like, I don't know if people, ever since he came to AEW, whenever Mox gets too riled up, he just picks him up and carries him away. And I think it is just the funniest thing. And Mox is just like, yeah, and like Claudio's just so strong, like I can do this all day.
You know what it reminds me of? What? The Jerry Springer show, the Maury show, when the security will break up a fight and they'll carry the one person off. That's what it's giving. It's very much like Claudio is the security guard. John is the, you know, the feisty cat fight.
Absolutely. Because I don't know who said this to me, but it is evergreen advice. Think of the messiest bitch you know. It's a man, ain't it?
I can neither confirm nor deny that, but
blink twice. You know,
twice if you're right.
Blink twice if you're right. Hey, man, ain't it? I did.
Oh, goodness. But you know what was interesting? This is the first time that these two have squared off, and they said that on commentary. They mentioned that they've run in the same circles. It's a surprise that they actually have not faced off yet.
Yeah, that was actually super interesting when they said that. And it's also, people were, it was actually cool because Claudio and like his comments and like the little vignette they showed beforehand hinted towards like Orange Cassidy's past as Fire Ant, which was like a cool, nice little touch. And somebody was like, AEW is nothing but old school Shakara. It's not. It's the truth. I don't know what else to say. AEW is like 70% old Shakara / old Ring of Honor / old what else? CZW, like an old PWG. The four of those promotions, like all of these people, like that, and that's literally all that it is. Like Mox, Eddie, Orange Cassidy, Trent, Chuck, Brian, all of it. Like people in the comments talking about AEW is mostly PWG. It's true. So that made perfect sense. What happened after that?
MJF starts going on the hunt for partners for the night.
Oh, brother. Oh, brother, you're right.
Honestly, it felt like he was trying to find the love of his life. Like, it kind of felt like he was doing open auditions, Flavor of Love, kind of.
It felt like, no, because it felt like Rock of Love, the white.
Oh, God.
It was the right. I watched that too, by the way. I will say Rock of Love with Bret Michaels was quality trashy TV.
Yes.
That was when he knocked on that door. Wait, because he knocked on a couple doors. Was that when he knocked on Kenny's door? Or was Kenny the first? Oh, no, that was when Wardlow snatched him up against that
wall. Wardlow just coming out of nowhere. Just had him up against the wall. There's going to be memes about that tomorrow.
I said, Tumblr's not going to let this one go.
Thank you. They're not. They've been waiting for this.
Tumblr's not going to let this one go. I said, now, why did you hold him there like that? I felt kind of, I felt uncomfortable on his behalf. Like, I will say, I didn't realize, I forgot how short Max was until he was up against that wall. And I was like, ooh, this is a little weird.
Justice for the short kings.
Absolutely. You know, short lives matter. Not to me, but
to somebody.
Yep. To somebody. Short lives matter. But yeah, so he was held up against that wall.
And Wardlow threatened him. But you know what was interesting? They mentioned a lot tonight the different people that are eyeing MJF's title. Yes. And there were people in there that I didn't even realize were eyeing his title. They just threw a couple people in there, honestly.
Who didn't you recognize?
Hobbs.
Oh, yeah.
That was one that we haven't really seen them interact. We haven't seen anything, any sort of growth. So the fact that they kind of threw him in there, I was kind of like, I felt like the Nick Young meme. I was like,
and I don't even feel like we've really ever seen like Hobbs in the world title picture. TNT, no. Yes.
Right.
But we've never really seen him in the world title picture. So
Don Callis is trying to get some championship gold in his family, okay?
Period. And I also think that it was interesting because I guess I thought, and we'll get to this part, but I guess I thought that maybe the big announcement was going to be the Full Gear World Title Eliminator Tournament, because there were so many different people coming out of the woodworks who say, like, you know, oh, they want to face Max. So I was like, so this would be a great time to announce the tournament. But clearly, I don't think that that's going to be occurring. But it's very odd. Somebody said short dude's gonna have to write an article in this. They should be in this space too. Listen, short lives do matter. I just think that for me personally, you got to be at least 6 foot tall to ride this ride.
So someone did mention that House was watching MJF and Omega on Collision. So that was kind of like the first little inkling that he might be in the title picture.
Definitely. And so moving forward, we had another match. We had the Ring of Honor World 6-man tag team title match. I will say, outside of the opening match and the last match, none of the matches in the middle went over 10 minutes. But we had the Mogul Embassy, aka the Gates of Agony, Khan, Brian Cage, and Toa Liona versus the Elite, Adam Page, Matt Jackson, and Nick Jackson. And so this match, the Gates of Agony debuted some new theme music. It was really good. I really enjoy it. When women disrespect MJF because he's short. No, I disrespect him because he's mid. There's a difference. Anyway, they debuted some new music. It was actually really good. I really do like it. And then the Elite came out. Obviously, anything that they do, I love. And I noticed that Matt Jackson had his shirt on today. I said, "Ooh, he's in his Tetsuya Naito era." That means the shirt ain't coming off unless it's a pay-per-view, baby. And you know what? I gotta respect it. So the match gets started. We cooking. Hangman start swinging on everybody.
But we have to add, Hangman is a little upset. Swerve was in his house last week over his baby's crib.
He was in your house.
He's mad.
And y'all saw he was flicking the magnets on the refrigerator.
He was getting real.
It was getting real peculiar. And then that left the baby a t-shirt.
I mean, everyone loves a free t-shirt.
Everybody loves a free t-shirt. Then you hear, Hangman just whacking on everybody. They cooking. All of a sudden you hear, whose house? I thought it was just the music was about.
Me too.
But then it's actually Swerve. He said, whose house? Whose house? The crowd saying Swerve's house. And then he said, last week I was in your house.
I was like, oh.
When we go back at some year-end awards, I hope that there's like year-end awards for wrestling one-liners, because Swerve has had some of the best like wrestling one-liners, from like, what's a buckshot to a kill shot?
Ooh.
All the way to this.
Honestly, I think it's his rapping background that helps him as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. I think, and his delivery, he gets it. Like, I feel like he gets it as far as timing of just sometimes less is more. And I feel like he really gets that of just like knowing how to, move the crowd, knowing like which moments are correct. Because I think a lot of people, they just assume like being a good talker is about being able to talk a lot for a long period of time. Like, no, actually, being a great talker is about, in my opinion, y'all tacky. Yeah, that was one of my favorite ones. Y'all tacky. He wanted them people house and said, y'all tacky. Now he just gets it of just like sometimes you don't got to do too much, like
right.
But that was incredible. Obviously, Hangman runs to the back.
The camera shot of Hangman running.
Listen,
like why did he just got? It was like, okay, where'd he come from?
He was trained at the Bianca Belair School of Track and Field.
You know what? He
because
was.
Nobody runs up the ramp like my girl. When Bianca put her shoes on, she out. It's a wrap. When she get her shoes on, that's what I felt. I said, "Ooh, Hangman been watching some tape." I know that's right. And so he then, they fighting backstage. Meanwhile, Young Bucks getting cooked. We're getting cooked real bad. Really bad. And so they got squashed.
Which I don't know how to feel about that. I mean, losing the ROH tag titles on a random episode of Dynamite, I don't know how to feel about that.
My thing is that I don't understand. Don't get me wrong, and I am a Young Bucks fan till the day that I die. Like, in my opinion, give them all the titles, right? However, y'all put a set of our Ring of Honor tag belts on them. I mean, 6-man tag belts on them. They never actually defended them in Ring of Honor.
Yep.
And I thought the purpose of putting all of these titles on these big AEW talents was for them to actually build this Ring of Honor brand. But the only 2 champions that defend their Ring of Honor titles in Ring of Honor is Athena and Katsuyori Shibata. That's it. That's it. Joe is defending his title on AEW TV. Eddie is defending his title on AEW TV. The Young Bucks and Gates of Agony now defending their titles on AEW TV. MJF is defending a set of tag titles by himself and literally just burying every tag team in Ring of Honor that they worked so hard to build. So I'm just not.
Confusion.
I'm not understanding.
I mean, it would make sense if, like you said, if they put these titles on these bigger superstars that are in AEW and had them, appear on Ring of Honor. I mean, I know Ring of Honor, you have to pay to watch it, the Honor Club, whatever, but they should see the effect that Athena has had. The 100%. Fact that people are watching because she has held this title for so long and she's having great matches on Ring of Honor.
Excellent. So the fact she's going to have one this week, tomorrow, versus Mercedes Martinez. Watch it.
So the fact that they didn't kind of capitalize on, having the Young Bucks and having MJF and bring them over to Ring of Honor, it's kind of like, what are we doing here?
And Athena, to your point, right now, she's the only reason why I'm still subscribed to Ring of Honor. And if something don't change soon, respectfully, the second she drops that title, I need my $9.99 back. Listen, Netflix done went up. Max done went up. Disney Plus done went up. Listen, everybody else streaming services done went up. So Tony Khan, you're gonna have to show me something. If you want to see my $9.99, you're gonna have to show me something. Hello. I don't know what else to tell you. He just gonna have to show me something because you can't keep getting like the minute that my girl is out of there. And my thing is, you got these people on the final battle poster. Will they make it the final battle? Will they make it the final battle? You already got one team that's gone from.
They're gonna have to redo the poster.
They'll have to redo the poster. You got MJF thinking that he out here is Captain Saber Cole. Want to.
good one. That was a good one.
Appreciate that. You got Captain Save a Cole out here saying, "Oh yeah, I'm big, I'm strong, I'm going to do 2 matches at 1 pay-per-view again. I did it all in. I'm going to do it for Full Gear." Who does this help? And it's nothing against the Guns. It's just like, why does this have to happen at Full Gear? You have they're running this big street fight on Dynamite. You can run that on TV. You still don't even have a partner, Maxwell.
Maxwell, you know what? It seems like that's his constant struggle, is finding some partners or a partner. I mean, Max Caster sure did look comfortable with his hands on his ass tonight. Maybe he could be his partner in Ontario or at Full Gear. I don't know.
That was really crazy when he wrapped himself around that man's leg. I said, "Oh."
I said, should we be seeing this?
I said, y'all making this. I said,
you need some privacy.
This episode of AEW Dynamite was sponsored by Tumblr and fanfiction.net.
Wattpad.
What Wattpad? Absolutely. Moving on. What was next? Was it the?
We have to talk about the announcement.
I was about to say, what did the announcement come first, or what did the Adam Copeland promo come before the announcement? Which was first?
I believe the announcement was first.
Okay, the announcement. Okay. I feel like I could speak to this personally. Guys, I love All In. Like, I paid the very steep cost to go to London for that bank holiday. And it wasn't cheap because it was a bank holiday. I think it's a great time. I completely agree with the decision to announce it early. I think that that's a great idea. Get more people out there, especially, to be quite honest, now that WWE has announced that big show in Berlin, like a couple days later, it's a great idea to go ahead and start selling tickets, because it is going to be a destination event for European fans. And I think just everybody should go. If you can make it to Wembley, I think everybody should go. Rev Pro puts on a great show that weekend. It's completely awesome. Woo! Yay! Hopefully, Pac, Jamie Hayter will be back. Maybe John Dennis will be in the ring. Have Bryan Danielson. I think All In 2 is going to be fantastic. With that being said, I'm not going to say it could have been an email, because I do think that it should have been announced on TV.
Girl, it could have been a U.S. post office letter.
Here's the thing, and I don't even agree with that, because I do think that specifically, if people didn't notice at the thank you everybody who's sending us a slam chat.
I like that. I do slam chat.
Yeah. But what I do think is interesting is, if anybody watched, so if you follow Fight TV, who is the international broadcaster for AEW, they did announce that the start times for international viewing for Dynamite were going to be pushed up a little bit earlier. And so I knew it had something to do international. And so I do think that it's very important that they did announce it on TV, because American fans, we have to realize everything is not for us. In the UK, AEW is the #1 wrestling promotion. And so it made perfect sense. However, Cody, you just said the exact same thing that you said in the first announcement. Then you had Nigel out there saying the exact same thing that he said out there in the first announcement. And then you did all that to tell us that, the tickets going to sell a month from now. Now, why couldn't you just say that? Why couldn't you? It's one thing. It's one thing if you said this, okay, tickets going to sell tomorrow. Bet. It's not like the shit going to sell out. Not like on day one. Like,
right.
It could definitely sell out, by August 25th, 24th.
Right.
But it's not like it's going to sell out, on day one. So it's just like, why? Then you talking about something, my family Christmas tree been up since July. Now, why would you tell them people business like that?
Some people like Christmas, okay?
Now, I know a couple people who had Christmas tree up, but that ain't nothing that that you broadcast, and sometimes that's a cultural difference. So that's not something you tell people like that.
You know, when he first started talking, he was like, I want to give y'all a gift. And I saw a lot of people on the timeline, they were like, maybe it's the Max deal. You know, maybe they're gonna have where you can watch AEW on Max or HBO Max as it used to be called. So when he said gift, I was like, okay, Tony, what is it? And then he's like, the tickets go on sale in a month. I was like, you've got to be kidding me, Tony.
The gift is that you can register to have priority access to buy tickets 1 month from now. That's like 3 steps.
He's acting like Taylor Swift with these Taylor Swift tickets. Verified fans. Better get your code so you can get an AEW All-In.
Listen, I was in the All-In pre-sale. I do understand demand is going to be higher this year. I don't deny that. However, let's be for real. We got to be for real.
Be for real or BFFR?
BFFR.
Okay.
Yeah. Because, Tony, you have already ran our pockets real thin this year. Me, personally, I'm going to be honest. I'm about sick of you. I'm about sick of you adding all these pay-per-views, adding all this. And you know what? Me, I try to make up. I try to do it. I'm going to get there to win when I get there. We're going to get these tickets when we get these tickets, okay? I just don't understand why he had to tell us that. Why do we need to know about your family Christmas tree?
That's what has you in a chokehold, the Christmas tree.
I'm still stuck on that because, like,
you could have at least showed. Are there gifts under the tree in July, or do they wait?
Billionaires gonna wrap their own gifts.
Well, maybe he went to like Neiman Marcus, Saks Fifth Avenue, wrapped it up real nicely, and put it under the tree.
Buy their own gifts. They got people to do that. They got people. Yeah. They have their people call your people, and my people call your people, and you know the people call. I
need to see the Christmas tree. Like, I want to know: is it like an extravagant Christmas tree? Are we talking Kim Kardashian Christmas, or are we talking like everyday Christmas tree?
I'm upset specifically because I feel like in Black culture, leaving the Christmas tree ain't nothing to be proud of,
girl.
Because there ain't nothing to be proud of. Because first of all, you know that you're never supposed to let the New Year meet you with a dirty house and with that Christmas tree still up.
Make sure you have your black eyed peas
and your your collard greens. You're never supposed to let the New Year meet you with that Christmas tree up. It's bad luck. Is that why everything being boo-boo the fool this year? Because your Christmas tree is still up. It's not right.
We need answers. We need answers.
Right. And also, like, you know, Tony just starts stuff. Now I have questions. And now we got to talk about it because what's that about?
Deck the halls. Bells. I don't know.
You might as well not take shit down now. I mean, hello? Like, why would you take it down? At this point, why would you take it down? It's November 1st. Might as well keep it up.
You know, I did know someone once that actually kept their Christmas tree up year round, and they would decorate it for the different holidays.
Oh, I know. I have one of my best friends left her tree up, and I'm gonna be honest, she had a very bad year last year.
Did she eat grapes under the table during New Year's Eve?
No.
That's why.
Yeah. Wait, I ain't never heard that one.
It's a TikTok thing. If you eat grapes under a table, you're supposed to have a good year, find the love of your life. You've never heard that before?
I'll be in Japan during this New Year too. So I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. I don't even know if they eat grapes under tables. I don't know if that's like the custom or that. I don't know. I don't know.
This book is just opening very slowly. Learning a lot of secrets tonight.
This Dynamite book is opening real slowly. But back on task, I think next up we had the Rated R Superstar made an appearance on Dynamite. I will say, I don't care what none of y'all say. Listen, hear me out. Hearing Metalingus on Dynamite is my favorite thing.
Goosebumps.
Like, it's my favorite thing. And this is why. Edge is my childhood favorite wrestler. I absolutely adored him. He was like one of my first favorite wrestlers. He was it for me. I remember the way that I sobbed in my room when he retired. I lost it. I just boo-hooed. And I remember when I used to have WWE Network solely for NXT and to watch E&C's show that totally reeks of awesomeness. And I used to watch it. And when he returned in 2020, by then I knew that my wrestling tastes have changed of just what I wrestling like. I was really happy that he was back, but I'm gonna be honest. I knew I couldn't. For me personally, I knew I couldn't commit to watching WWE so on a regular basis. So it was very much so. I gotta love you from afar, but I support you. I support you. I will watch, pay-per-views every now and then, yada yada yada. But I just couldn't keep up with watching him regularly. And then, like, over the past year, when I saw him like feuding back and forth with Dom, I just couldn't do it. But it feels like when I sat there at Wrestle Dream and when I heard that music, y'all, the way I almost broke down, I almost hit the floor on my knee. I started crying like I was a little girl again. It's like finally I can watch you on a regular basis now. And he got to keep the music. Oh.
You know how much of a fumble it is that WWE did not have Rated R Superstar trademark? That was on my mind earlier. When he came out, I was like, how did they fumble that?
WWE's let a lot of trademarks lapse, though. Like, if anybody's been paying attention to, like, Impact, for example, Santino Marella figured out that they let his trademark lapse, and that's why how he got his name back. He just went ahead and snatched it up.
But you think about other people like Matt Cardona, Zack Ryder. Girl, remember when it had expired and he reeled it back in?
That's because he talked too much. He's always in the media talking about, oh, well, will I ever come back to WWE? Will I ever do? You always talking. And plus your wife worked there. Like, you on that radar. Santino Marella? Who's thinking about Santino Marella? Nobody.
Honestly, the way I think about it is he might have not been on their radar, but the fact that his daughter is there now, I think they probably would have.
Who's his daughter?
Oh, I forgot you don't watch WWE like that. His daughter's in NXT.
Who's his daughter?
I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but yes, she has like this prom gimmick, like not homecoming queen, like a beauty queen type gimmick. She was in the last tournament that they had on NXT. So she is quite popular. She was injured for a while there, but that's his daughter. Yes, that's her name. Thank you.
That's actually so funny that she has a prom queen gimmick, especially after her dad did the Santina. That's a whole nother conversation that needs to be had for another day. But oh wow, I did not know that. But yeah, they let a lot of trademarks lapse. I think Matt Cardona could have got his shit back if he had just been quiet. He'd just be loud all the time. You always doing an interview with somebody. Shh, be quiet. If you know you're trying to sign this and without them people knowing, you better be quiet.
You gotta move in silence.
Especially like, and I will say he had a lot of actual, like, how do I say it? He had a lot of IP connected to that name too. Like, I remember he was one of the first internet like wrestlers to really go viral. Of just like, I remember what is it? Z
True Hollywood Story.
True Long Island Story. It was a Long Island story.
Long Island.
And I remember, and then like they tried to like do it on TV, and then it was never the same again. But yeah, y'all better start checking on these trademarks. But Edge got his. I mean, Adam Copeland, Big Cope got his. He actually changed his Twitter name today.
He did?
It's now Rated R Cope instead of Edge Rated R.
Good eye.
Yeah, so it's now Rated R Cope. But anywho, got up there, started talking to Tony Schiavone. Tony Schiavone got a good ovation from the crowd.
That was sweet.
Because y'all be stressing that man out. And he deserves all the ovations that he can get. And Adam starts talking about how he has a great relationship with Sting because They've had some more injuries, and so they've been like an eye for and a listening ear for each other over the years. I actually didn't know that tidbit of information, and so that was actually really cool to hear. That makes sense. They probably connected while Sting did that brief run with WWE, and I know like by then Adam was still sidelined, so that makes a lot of sense. But then, of course, then we hear the sound of Christian Cage's music. And I will say, I missed him. He was only off TV for like a week, and
had to get some new turtlenecks. He could have at least got his friend Nick one while he was getting him some new ones.
I'm gonna be honest. You gotta, how do I say it? You gotta earn the turtleneck. The turtleneck.
This boy is out here in a wife beater. It's cold.
The turtleneck is grown man business. That's grown. That's unk.
Okay.
That's unk. when Christian Cage earned that turtleneck, you hear me? You know, like the type of street cred you gotta have to have a sleeveless turtleneck. That's a man that stand on business. That's an OG. Nick Wayne ain't there yet. He a little peewee still. He ain't no OG yet. Christian comes out. He said, "Listen," and I think I tweeted this. What I admire about Christian, and I think separates him from all the other heels, just in wrestling, period. And I'm not even sure if there's just about anybody on his level. Maybe Swerve, but that's about it. You can tell, at least from everything we watch, it looks like he genuinely believes in every crazy thing he's saying.
Yeah.
That man be saying the wildest shit I've ever heard and making perfect eye contact. Like, bro, I'm going to break your neck and your kids going to wipe your drool off your chin. Why would you say that? Why would you say that? And then you in the back of your head, you're just like, I know he knows his kids. Why would you say that?
He knows his kids. He knows his wife.
It's so funny. It's so, and I take it personally because Adam has a kid named Lyric. So I said, man, what you said fuck me for? So just like,
why am I in this?
How I get in? You said they put me in stuff. You said how they put me in stuff. Now that's foul. And then he talking about, so I'm gonna do all this to your best friend of 40 years too.
40.
Said, it's just like Christian been waiting to get this off. I will say, Christian's one of those people of just like, if you've watched their careers over the year, like they've never been on the same level booking wise.
Yes.
Christian's always had the talent, of course, but he was never a true main event guy until TNA. Mm-hmm. And WWE never saw him on the main event level as Edge. And so they were never really equals as competitors in the eyes of a company until now. And I think it's super cool because honestly, Christian's kind of like a bit of a level above. And it's so interesting to see that power dynamic. And like, I think that's super cool because like both of these guys are like almost 50. And so they've always seen it. They've seen it all, done it all. But that's a fresh story that they still get to tell because we've really never seen that reverse dynamic. And Christian just does it so well. Like he says it like, yeah, I'm gonna break your neck. They gonna break. We gonna retire Sting. He think he gonna make it to Revolution. We about to put him down in full gear. Darby, you already broke down. You ain't even gonna make it to Mount Everest. I don't even know why you're trying to climb that mountain. I truly don't know why he's trying to climb that mountain.
He's a daredevil, a risk taker. Couldn't be me.
I saw that clip of him crashing and burning that nitro
skateboard. Yes.
I said, now why would you do that?
And he even said, he's like, my arm or my shoulder's messed up. Sir, then why are you here?
He just like, hey, in the club with my twin.
Vibing on the ground.
He's vibing with his 61-year-old best friend. Darby and Sting. I'm like, bro.
Okay, but is Ric Flair in it too now?
I hope not. I will say now, that's what made this segment so good. I looked to my left and I looked to my right, and Ric Flair was not in sight.
I was nervous at first. I was like, don't do it. Don't do it.
I would hope, listen, I don't want Ric Flair near my favorite American company at all. But if they're gonna use him, please don't put him on TV, because I ain't gonna lie, I'm liable to cut that off. I'm liable to cut it off. So if you're gonna do it at a pay-per-view so you can just hold me hostage.
Well, I think a lot of people were nervous that Ric Flair was going to be the partner. That was the talk on the TL last week.
Listen, Ric Flair can't walk across the street without a pacemaker. I think he needs to tread real lightly.
I agree with you.
Did you see Ric Flair's last match?
I wish I didn't.
The last match.
Yes.
I just saw a clip of it, and that man was winded. He literally sat in that corner half concussed for 70% of that match.
And for what? What did that do for him?
He just won't let it go. Listen, in my mind, Ric Flair's retirement match was WrestleMania 24 versus Shawn Michaels. That's when I stopped caring. However, I digress. Thank God he wasn't out there tonight. Very good segment, though. I will say that was the best spear that I feel like Edge has done since he's came to AEW. That was a really good one. He looked like he really tore Christian in half.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty awesome.
But also, too, you have to think it takes effort from Christian as well. And I feel like that relationship that they have, he probably was like, bro, just hit your best one on me.
Can we talk about how, like, Big Coat was a little winded on that microphone? I said, now why are you breathing so hard to talk?
Give him a break. Give him a break. He's excited to be there. He can't catch his breath. But you know what? He was out of breath when he first came in the ring and spoke, and after the sphere as well. So
because he be going hard on that entrance, running to one side of the stage. I said, damn, you didn't even run to the other side.
My heart would be pounding too. You saw those fireworks at Pyro, girl.
You saw that last thing of Pyro. He jumped. Said,
he did. He wasn't expecting it.
I wasn't expecting that one. Oh my gosh. After that, I think we went back to MJF trying to find
on the hunt.
He was trying to find a friend, phone a friend, child. He looked at Samoa Joe locker room, said just can't do it. Went to Darby Allin's and then he just wrote emo bitch down and on the door. And then you had the Acclaimed waiting around the corner with a sign. Now, I'm gonna be honest. I understand kind of why the Acclaimed stuff is happening. Obviously, him and Matt Castro have a long-standing relationship. They both came up together in Creative Pro Wrestling. They both trained together.
Wait, you mean they're not in love?
I was about to get there. Oh. They've been the subjects of, a very robust Twitter love story for a very, very, very long time. And so I'm not even going to pretend that this doesn't make sense. However, this is how I feel. And I feel like, how do I say it? I feel like Max has not shown that he can stand on his own. His promos, when you leave him on his own too long, they suck. He either goes way too long or he start just talking and he just starts screaming and he just start yelling, yeah, and the veins start popping out on his head and that thing that he be doing. Ever since Adam Cole left, it's been very, very obvious. And so I feel, and the ratings reflect it, this has nothing on him as a wrestler because his matches, he has not missed yet. His singles matches are absolutely excellent. He is a fantastic wrestler, but he doesn't wrestle very often. So in the in-between, we typically have to deal with him doing 20-minute promos to say something that really could have been sent in an email. And I say all this to say this. I think for them to try to keep this baby face shtick up, they paired him with people who are going to be forever over, which is the Acclaimed. Mm-hmm. The Acclaimed are forever over, and I'm going to be honest, they're so over to the point to where, let's be honest, the gimmick has run stale, but they're just over. So it just doesn't matter anymore because when you go to an AEW show and you go to those merch stands, you want to know the first thing that sells out, those them foam fingers.
Yep.
I remember last year, Full Gear, I went to the merch stand 3 different times. 3 different times looking for foam fingers. Couldn't find them. Couldn't get them. They're like, we sold out. We might get some more by the end of the show. We done sold out again. They love them foam fingers. At Wrestle Dream, the foam fingers. And you want to know what else sells like hotcakes? Them card blades. Them little card blades.
Yes, those are smart. But they're $40.
I was just about to say that. Y'all really paying $40. Y'all love Jay White that much. I gotta respect it.
Just go to Kinko's. You get a little cutout. You don't have to pay $40. But if you love Jay White, just fucking pay the price. But still, I remember I was in Chicago.
Jay White! That was the part.
I remember I was in Chicago.
Woo!
And I saw the car blade on the table, and I looked at it ready and I said, "What is that?" I said, "Is that a small little cutout?" And I was like, "I want to see how much it is." Our friend Mario from the Lucha Outsiders, he loves Jay White. So we go up. Girl, it's $40. And I was like...
And they were flying off the shelves.
What are you going to do with it? Is he going to work with you?
Yes, they taking him everywhere. They taking him on a big bridge, on a plane. It's Superman. They're taking him everywhere. They're taking them card blades everywhere. It's a movement.
All right.
I will say this is probably the most like cult piece of merchandise since the foam fingers, like the foam scissors. I will say. And here's the thing. It's not a problem, truly. I ain't got that. That is not my business. I don't got $40 for a card, for it. You know, I don't have $40 for it because when I go on a strip budget, I'm gonna get my little "I was there" T-shirt. I see Nikki talking about something. I'm trying to get Santana one out cash app, y'all. Keep in touch. Just you let me know. I would try to. I got to figure out how to keep it short. You can't bend it. You know, they don't send it with no packaging. They
just hand it to you.
They just hand it to you. So, and I don't even know what kind of material is it. Is it cardboard?
It's a thicker type of material. It's not just a piece of paper for $40.
It may not be.
It's like not card stock, but I don't know. I don't know the material.
That thing better play the music for me. Better play the music too. $40. I'm sorry, we in a recession, y'all. $40.
I think honestly, $40 for cutouts of all the group would be a deal. I think that's what they need to do.
No, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not paying for. This is not a group project. Now I ain't gonna lie. I do just want. No offense to them men. Shout out to them men. But if I gotta pay, I'm gonna just get Jay White. I'm gonna be real.
Okay, well I'll take your guns ones.
Okay, that's fine.
Someone will want the juice one.
I'll be honest. I'll take the juice one.
Great. We can split it.
I've always loved the Jay White Juice Robinson collab ever since New Japan. So like, I think I'm just very partial to that team. So
yeah.
But hey, guns up. Guns up. Moving on, we had the Golden Jets. Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega versus Angelo Parker and Matt Menard with Jake Hager. This match was really short. I'm going to be honest. Free Kenny till it's backwards.
Well, I mean, free Takeshita too. You got Takeshita standing behind John Callis.
I'm going to get into free Takeshita as well. I'm going to get you out of there. You don't belong in there. I'm going to get you out of there.
I just want to know. Okay, first of all, Don Callis has the most diverse family ever.
I will say that.
He needs a woman, though.
Who would it be?
How you put me on the spot? I don't know. He needs a woman, though. He needs a woman that will get in there and kick ass. The first person that came to mind was Layla Hirsch, but she's in Ring of Honor. She's in that thing with Maria. I feel like she wouldn't be in something like that. She doesn't have time for that.
I think now, just because of the quality of the faction that he's building, whoever that they would pick would have to be like not just a woman wrestler, they would have to be the woman wrestler. And like the only person I could think of will probably be like Ashita, but like Sheeta's loyal to Kenny. Like that, like they locked in. And so like Riho is also loyal to Kenny. Like it would have to be somebody who would
honestly, I feel like Nyla would be a hoot in the Don Callis family.
Nyla would be hilarious.
That would be good.
Nyla would be absolutely hilarious. But I know that Don Callis, outside of Hobbs, because I think he just needed muscle, he's been strategically picking people like, how can I get on Kenny nerves? You know, Kyle Fletcher is connected to Will Ospreay with the United Empire. That makes sense. Takeshita, they have history from DDT and all this. Like, it will have to be somebody who is like loosely connected. So they would either have to probably get Sheeta to turn on Kenny, or they'd have to get Riho to turn on Kenny. Just because of that's just how Don Callis likes to work. But I'm gonna be honest, abolish the Don Callis family. We need to wrap this shit up. Like
Mel Coleman is not done with her art yet. There are more photos or more faces.
Shout out to that woman. She has done a great job with that last
Mel.
Like she has done amazing things. But Don Callis, bro, I've heard you talk more than I've seen Takeshita wrestle. That's a problem. Now Kyle Fletcher and Takeshita did hoop last week. That was a fantastic. Rampage was excellent last week. I will say that. But I've seen Don Callis talk more than I've seen Takeshita wrestle. Also, Kyle Fletcher looks great in a suit. I just wanted to say that. He looked great in a suit.
Looking like a nice English gentleman.
Yeah, he's Australian.
Oh, Australian. Excuse me. I should know that. Aussie Open.
Aussie.
I sing the song, but I don't know where he's from, clearly.
Anyway, Kenny and Jericho, they beat 2.0. And then the family comes out and Don Callis is like, blah, 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 blah. We're better than you. Rah. Kenny is like, no, Chris Jericho said, you want to fight? You want a street fight? You know how Kenny and Chris Jericho.
Whoa.
And then Kenny was like, when I get my man, and when he pull up on you, it's a wrap. And so he's like,
he said, bring it to my man.
I'm going to get somebody who is always by my side, who never turn on me, who never lie to me, who never do me wrong. It's the only person here that I trust. I'm getting Kota Ibushi on y'all. And then so it's like, okay, bet. And then they was like, well, you still need one person. I'm gonna be honest, by then I forgot. I thought I couldn't count because I said
same. I was like, wait, what?
1, 2, 3. And I think Excalibur said on commentary, Sammy Guevara's come back. I said, well, damn, that's not, you know how to ruin a party. I said, well, y'all know how to ruin a good thing. Well, you know how to just ruin my day. Anyway, and then they said that Jericho talking about something. I got somebody big.
And you know what? I was like, who is it? Who is it? I'm thinking Big Bill. I'm like, it doesn't make any sense, but Big Bill?
I knew who it was because a couple months ago, Jericho trademarked the rights to the name Jericho from back in the day.
Oh, WWE.
Exactly, because you know him and Big Show used to be in that tag team. I remember that from back in the day. And so I knew it was coming. And then he said, I got something. And then Don said, who's bigger than Hobbs? And then the man, who's bigger than Will Hobbs? And then you have the music hits. And it's like the world, but it's the Big Show don't come because you know.
Can I tell you a story?
Please.
So Iridian and I actually interviewed the guy that sang Big Show's theme song. We have an episode on Wrestling Wind Down with him, and we do the whole, he taught us how to do it. I'm not about to do it right now, but when I heard it, I was like,
hey, you got 2 weeks to figure it out. You got 2 weeks to figure out
Ontario.
So by the time that are you going to that in person? Are you going to be there?
No.
Okay, cool. And I was like, and also AEW, I just want you to know you real foul for running that match on Dynamite, knowing everybody's going to be in town for Collision. Y'all should have ran that for Collision so we all could be there. But that's foul. That's fine. Anywho, you have 2 weeks to practice to do the world. Yeah, you have 2 weeks to practice. So you go.
I'll be ready.
Get your tea.
Yep.
Tea. Then Paul White comes out. Let me say this. I'm not a Paul White hater at all. And this, let me tell you why. There's about 2 to 3 wrestlers off the top of my head that I can say are from South Carolina. It's not many of us. Okay. There is Paul White. There's Shelton Benjamin, that man of God, that gold standard. And then there's Lacey Evans. We don't talk about her. We don't talk about her. So on principle, I try to support my fellow South Carolinian. However, when that man walked out, I don't know what y'all want him to do. Them legs did not look safe.
Mm.
They didn't look safe. I saw like no. And I wish I had the slide up because it was like the knees was going in different directions. I said, now hold on, y'all said that he was fixed. This does not look fixed. Somebody said on Twitter, I don't have their ad, but I know his name is Marcus. He said one leg looks like Mr. Incredible and the other one looks like Elastigirl.
Y'all are going to hell first class on the flight. First class to hell.
And I would hate to see my fellow South Carolinian go out sad like that. So what are we going to do? Now, I know they said that, I think I saw one of the reports saying that he wants want to go out with a bang before he just goes into a commentary full time. I'm going to be honest. I
don't think this is it.
I think that you've done all that you could do. I think you've had an excellent career, Mr. Mr. White. But I don't think you've got nothing to prove to anybody.
A street fight?
A street fight.
A street fight.
Like Kota Ibushi? This man swallows firecrackers. Are you crazy? Like, are you crazy? These people are nuts. Sammy Guevara goes out there. He does the craziest things with his body because he thinks that it's going to make the audience love him. And they never do. But he just keeps going. He keeps going. You out here trying to go crazy with people who ain't got shit to lose. That's the worst time to be out there. These are idiots. I mean this in the best way possible. Like, these are straight idiots.
He said he wanted to go out with a bang, right? I guess a street fight in Ontario, California is the way to go. We'll see how it goes.
Anyways, I don't know. I'm worried for my fellow South Carolinian. We can't go out like this. Like I said, we don't have much representation out here. So we need to band together. We got Lacey Evans out here going crazy.
Yeah, you can't depend on her.
We can't depend on her.
Not the alpha.
Shelton Benjamin. We still don't know where he's going to end up. That king, that gold standard. And so I just need more. I need more. Next, we had the AEW Women's World Title match. This was excellent. This was great. The women delivered. There was a lot of controversy of whether or not like the booking and yada yada yada. I'm gonna be honest, like I hate that I'm one of these people, but guys, like I don't care if Willow Nightingale loses every single match for a full year in a row. Y'all can put her in that world title picture at any time, and I'm not gonna say a peep.
Eat it up.
I'm going to like. And I'm typically all about logic and facts and stuff. But when it come to her, I leave that logic at the door. I'm sorry, guys. Like, I'm going to be honest. Like, I don't care. I'm going to just tell you right now, I don't care. I don't care.
I saw the debate that she lost last week. She lost the number 1 contenders match. She got a match tonight. And why is it not making sense? Look. she had a good match. She had a great match tonight. I wish it would have been longer, but it was a great match.
And it was logical. And I will say, don't get me wrong, it was illogical. It was illogical for her to have a women's title match. But you know what else is illogical? Toni Storm having a women's title match at Full Gear. All she did was change her gimmick. That's all. She ain't beat nobody. She lost her last few matches. You know that.
She has Luther, though. Maybe Luther organized it for her.
You know, I'm just saying, like, y'all, this doesn't make sense until when y'all want things to not make sense. Okay, like if we gonna hold everybody to a certain stature. For example, Kenny done lost all his matches, all his singles matches this year. Got a title shot this past weekend. I'll be honest. We just have to accept we are in a moment at AEW where a lot of things just don't make sense. A lot of things just don't make sense. And I would be, if you just hang yourself up on what makes sense and what makes no sense, you're going to be very unhappy. You're just going to be very unhappy. I feel you. I understand. Hey, but what about the booking? I understand. I feel you. I understand, y'all. But if you're going to get hung up about this every week, I'm not sure this is the show for you.
Yeah.
But the match was great.
I enjoyed after the match. There was a lot of development.
Absolutely.
On two different storylines.
So two different ones.
Toni Storm comes out. She's rolling on the ground. Honestly, I live for Sheeta being confused by Toni Storm because that's me. Like, why are you on the ground, girl? What are you doing? What is this?
I wanted to say quickly about the match. I can tell that Sheeta and Willow have really good chemistry because Sheeta holds back a lot in her matches because she's a very stiff worker. And obviously a lot of people who aren't familiar with that style can't take her being overly stiff. And when I saw the way she was striking with Willow, I said, oh, she's hitting at full speed. So she knows she can go hit for hit for hit for hit with Willow. And that was super cool. And I think that just shows that Willow Nightingale's next up, y'all. Period. I don't care. Tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell your greasy grandmammy, all that. That's what we used to say back in the day. Tell them I'm ready for her to get back to Japan. You know, running back with Julia. Mercedes, we're going to talk about you probably on another week, but where are you? You ain't showing up for New Japan. You ain't showing up for AEW. You ain't showing up for work. Where are you? I'm about to start. I'm about to put calling people on you. We're about to start. We're about to put out an alert. Where is Monet?
Well, you remember a couple weeks ago in that live, they were hinting at a show in LA.
Oh, absolutely. And you want to know what's very interesting? So AEW set a lot of matches for Full Gear tonight. A lot of matches for Full Gear tonight, and they released a lot of graphics for Full Gear tonight.
Yeah.
But there's no match graphic for the women's title match. All that has been said, the only graphic for it has said Toni Storm will make her Hollywood homecoming and challenge for the AEW Women's World Championship. They have not set a match graphic. They set a match graphic for Hangman Swerve 2. They have set a match graphic for the Darby Sting Adam Copeland match. They set a match graphic for
MJF and Jay White.
MJF Jay White, Orange Cassidy versus Mox 2. They set basically the match for that was the Dynamite Street fight. Never mind. They set a match. They set the graphic for every last one of those except for the women's title match, which probably means it's not finalized. Now, I'm not saying that means that lady's showing up, but I'm not saying that means that lady not showing up.
Somebody get her on the line. We have questions.
I think that means we are getting more AEW Women's World Title matches on TV next 2 weeks. Now, here's the thing. Now, I understand that, but AEW has never worked that way because in that sense, you would have never set the graphic for the MJF Jay White match. You would just say, yeah, they're going to face each other at Full Gear, but never would have set the graphic until like the week before because obviously there's going to be title defenses in between. And then also there have been plenty of times where AEW has set a women's title match with defenses in between. Same thing with the TBS title of just being like, oh, well, whoever wins this match will go on to face such and such at the pay-per-view. Something is up. Something is up. And there's also a young lady, I'm not saying, I can't confirm nor deny, but there is a young lady named Mariah May who dropped a photo book today called Portrait of a Wrestler. That sounds very similar to Portrait of a Star that we've been seeing over the last couple of weeks with Toni Storm. There's a lot of moving pieces of women we haven't seen, so just wanted to put those notes out there. I'm sure that we'll get more, information about what's what soon, but just wanted to, bring those things up. But back to the post-match angle. The women ate that.
They did. I mean, Toni Storm got her head kicked off by Sheeta. She shouldn't have been laying on the ground like that.
That was amazing. I will say the way that Sheeta timed that perfectly, like that running strike, and like the way that Toni sold it of just like, you hit me, like, girl, you was laying in the ground. What you thought this was?
But honestly, that wasn't the best part. When those lights went off and Julia was in that ring, Willow was like, oh.
And I will say, AEW gets a lot of flack for predictable women's booking. Because I just knew, I said, damn, like, Sky about to take Willow out. And I was like, it's going to be, I just knew. But when Sky showed up, it didn't spit the blue mist and Julia Fest. I said, hold up.
Did not see that coming.
I did not see that coming. And so, it looks like we got some things going on with the girlies, You can all put your pitchforks and your think pieces away about the Misty lore. Looks like Sky and Willow are staying babyface for the, the time being. Very great stuff. It's really great to have Julia back. I think she just has a presence that is really, really needed. I would say not just in the women's division, but just in AEW. Like, a lot of times these quote unquote spooky lore characters just don't connect. Like it's really overly complicated. And like, I just feel like they overshoot, but she has the perfect balance. Like, she gets the perfect balance of just, what did I say the other day? The sergeant of the spooky bitches. That's her.
And you know what? It just shows her versatility. She was a cheerleader before. And now she's this spooky character. It just shows that she's versatile. She can really do it all. I love her.
You know what? She is the latest in the line of women who have been thrown into trios with men and ended up being the successful one. Because she is the biggest success out of Brian Pillman and Griff Garrison. I remember, if you think about Carmella being the biggest success between Enzo and Cass, I would even venture to say, even to an extent, for a while, Melina was a bigger success than Joey Mercury and John Morrison for a while in WWE. There's a few different interests, like even like Trish Stratus, Test, and Albert. Like, there's a few, you can tell, like, when a woman has that true star power, it's going to prevail. And even if they might not be the best wrestler right away, you either have it or you don't. And Julia Hart has it, and she just continues to, she just eats it up. She gets it when she got her little finger thingies and like a hat, and it's just like she eat up a hat. Alexa Bliss, Buddy Murphy, and absolutely, that was the one I was looking for. And so she's the next in that long line of, women who have just made the best out of opportunities, because House of Black has been real iffy. Let's just be real. Very up and down. Sometimes these men be at work, sometimes they don't. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on. But but she and, Brody King, they've been really consistent of just being super consistent of whenever they are on the card, no matter if that's in just like, a spooky, like, just lights off, or whether it's a match or anything, they make the best out of everything that they do. And so,
did you see her on Hey EW?
Yes,
that was amazing. And the
so
incorporation
good.
of Brody, like I felt like I loved it. I like AEW in general, but they just really played up her character. It built her up even more.
And it was only 3 minutes long.
I know.
It was
like,
only
I need
3 minutes
more.
long. And like my thing is also, how do I say this? Of just, I 100% believe that the women need more time on AEW. I 100% believe that. But I also believe that you can tell who really has it by the people who make the most out of even the little time they have. Mm-hmm. Because Julia Hart was on Dark for most of this year. She was on Dark, but she took every single opportunity that she had and she made the most out of it. Like, if I'm going to have a match on Dark, I'm going to really commit to this character. I'm going to really just go crazy on everything that I'm doing. I might get 5 minutes on Rampage here. And we see how her time grew. And also, if you check those demo charts, her demos grew as well, of people tuning in to watch her. I remember at Wrestle Dream, when it was time for that match with her and Chris Statlander, a lot of times, like, you'll see like people get up for the women's match. When I say everybody sat in their seats, they were on their feet. They were on their feet. Like, nobody moved because people were so invested. And she's like one of those people who really take the, just really take the ball and run with it. Nikki said also thinks there's some people who are able to wrestle on TV while others struggle in front of a live audience. Absolutely. And I think that Julia isn't 100% there as a wrestler, but one, you can tell that she works really hard on her off time
to improve. Yeah.
You can tell that she's like, okay, I might not have the biggest moveset in the world, but I'm going to, offset that with, I'm going to make sure that I emote correctly, and that, like, my character is top notch, and that I know how to connect with the crowd, and I know how to play up my heel dynamics. Like, she gets it. Like, I feel like she gets it. Like, she used to even talk about how, like, Brody King has been like her wrestling dad, and him and his wife would take her out and like they'll go spend hours shopping to, get her hats and like, really work on her look. Like, you can tell she's really invested in this.
Yes.
And so that's one thing I really, really respect about her. And so every time she comes out, I respect her. And I think Sky Blue is one of those people too, of just
agreed.
Sky Blue is one of those girls, and she's probably one of the only people on the roster that's doing this, on the women's roster that's doing this, outside of like Willow, Athena, Mercedes Martinez, and more veterans. Sky Blue is on them indies.
Girl.
She getting them
working.
She's working. Like, that's why she's miles ahead of some of the other girls who might be, quote unquote homegrown, because she's going out and getting those reps. Even like All In weekend, she wasn't on that card, bet. You know what? She got herself booked for that work for a Rev Pro the night before at that women's battle royal, and I was there when that crowd went. She goes out and gets those reps, and I respect. And that's why, a lot of people are just like, "There's only 5 women on TV right now." Don't get me wrong, that is true, and there needs to be more. But one, a lot of people are injured. There are a lot of people in that injury reserve right now. Red Velvet does say that she's coming back soon, though, so that's actually really good news. There's a couple people on the injury reserve, but I will say the girls that are on TV right now, they're working.
They are
non-stop. They're working non-stop. Now we need to start cycling in some more people, and we also have to remind ourselves Britt Baker ain't been on TV. So like, if she hasn't been on TV, like,
has she really not been on TV?
Do you think she's the devil?
I've heard that she might be.
I know some people think she's the devil, but I know, like,
and you know what? The Doja Cat music video-esque thing came out today, and there's a part in there where Doja says something about being the devil.
And she did the little,
yeah. And people are like, is she being that obvious? Are they being that obvious by having her do that part? And I'm like,
listen,
DMD is quiet.
DMD has always, I will say, she really shines when she gets to be a bitch. Like, she really shines when she gets to be like a really, really badass heel.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say, her wrestling isn't the best, but on that mic, she's really undefeated. And
Yes.
I will say it could be a really good role for her to kind of be like the brain, and not really wrestle right now, because I think like she has a lot of potential, in that type of role of being like a mastermind. I think they tried to make it happen with her faction with Jamie Hayter and
Rebel.
But it didn't really work because Jamie Hayter is such an excellent wrestler and such an excellent, like, the fans were just too invested in her. And then when they put Britt up against, and I love Jamie Hayter, by the way, and I want her back like yesterday. But then, like, when they put Britt up against Saraya, it kind of backfired because I think they expected for Britt to be the heel, but then fans turned on Saraya. And then I remember when Britt did that promo and she was just like, yeah, I wasn't at the Tokyo Dome, I wasn't here, but you know where I was? I was in Daly's place with all this. And then like that was like this super babyface promo. And then everybody was like, oh, well, Britt is she's the face here. And so that kind of like backfired. And so I think that turned her face prematurely.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, yeah, she would thrive as the devil. She ate that. So, I would like to see it. I'm not saying that I want her to be the devil, but I don't not want her to be the devil, because at this point, I don't know who is the devil. Like, I genuinely don't know. Like, I genuinely don't know. And like, I know some people are like, it's all a work. It's Adam Cole.
No.
Yeah, man. Y'all see that the way that his beard done grown
That's
out?
what I see
Adam. I've never seen Adam Cole. I'm not saying he looked bad, but you can tell like
he chilling at home.
He's chilling. He at the crib.
No need to cut the beard. Just let it grow.
He's at the crib. Okay? He's at the crib. And so it's not Adam Cole, and it surely ain't Roddy. It's just Adam. And I want to speak on that too. Not Adam Cole. Roddy Strong needs to be in somebody's ring. I will say, like, I'm a huge fan of the way that he screams Adam, but right now they're doing too much gimmicky and not enough wrestling. The reason why I feel like it used to work really well, especially while they were doing like that world title tournament thing heading into Grand Slam, is because you have him being this hopeless, shameless loser, but it's balanced out by knowing that he's an absolute killer in that ring. And so like he's literally, crying on Adam Cole's phone, but running through opponents in this tournament. So that like, yes, he's a loser in some sense, but you also know like if he really got he's actual threat in that ring, which made it so, that's why when the finals were, Roderick Strong versus Samoa Joe, you still kind of had some suspense on. You don't know who's going to win, because the story could have gone either way, because there was a story, both ways.
Right.
And I think somebody said, like, Roddy came off as 2000 Kurt Angle. 100%. Kurt Angle always had that great balance of being, a really goofy guy, while always being one of the best wrestlers in the world. And so I feel like they've kind of lost the plot with Roddy, of just like, he was not meant to be like doing this every day, like every single week, just having the Kingdom run after him. And then also, what happened to the Kingdom? They was running through opponents. They were supposed to be number one contenders by now. Are y'all supposed to be, are y'all waiting for Adam Cole to come back? How long are we dragging this out?
Well, you see, Maria's on Ring of Honor. She has a new little tag team for herself. She has Cole Carter and Griff Garrison.
They sure do.
And professional wrestlers love hot moms, or whatever her shirt says.
Cole Carter's in love with her. Now what? She done found, and then she done recruited Layla Hirsch. Like, Maria, and I'm gonna be honest, that's who they need for real. That's who they need. They really need Maria, because she's one of the best managers ever.
Truly.
That's who they really need. She need to be on AEW. She need to be doing a lot of things, including booking, but that's another.
You know, I did see someone else said that maybe Maria's the devil, and I was like,
She would be a good option. I'm gonna be honest. If the devil is a woman, I think that Maria makes a lot of sense if it's not Britt. And Maria's she's really great. Like, she's one of those people who was never the best wrestler, but she always knew that. And so she always knew that. I feel like she always knew that her talents could always be used in other ways. Like, she's a great example of somebody who knew their strengths in wrestling. She knew she had a great mind for women's wrestling. She knew she was a great manager. She knew that, like, she can add a lot to a team. And she really just capitalized on all of her strengths. And I think a lot of people should do that a lot more. Like, for example, I think that Anna Jay should be a manager. I think that Anna Jay, while she's like still getting reps and really building up as a wrestler, I've seen so many glimpses of greatness from her, especially like with 2.0. Like, I think Anna Jay could be a fantastic wrestler. Like, when Jack Perry come back from his bid in jail, I think that she should manage.
whoa.
Listen, I saw that picture. You saw that picture that dropped today of Jack.
Yes, Jack Perry been hitting the gym.
I said, Roller, like, he been at Rikers. He just got out, fresh out. I think he looked like fresh out. He got that beard. I said, oh my God.
Not Rikers.
I said, what did they do to you? But yes, I think Anna should manage him, and they should get one of them, like, they should do one of them t-shirts like with the Cash Money Records font.
You're done. You're done.
Hey, listen, Cody did it.
I was just thinking that. I was like, wait a minute, taking a page out of Cody's book.
Cody did it.
Why not Jack Perry? Jungle Boy Records.
Jack already has one. He already has one. It's actually on Shop AEW right now. He has one of those style shirts. Like, no joke. Like, seriously, if you go look right now, it's there. It's actually really it's really funny too. It's like really.
I have to look this up when we're done.
It's there. But next after that, we had another of Max looking for a partner.
At this point, he's starting to really just get sad.
It got really sad. For me, it was sad by the beginning of the episode, but that's neither here nor there. Then you saw Big Double J, it was Jeff Jarrett said, "Hey, I'm not gonna lie, I was scared because I said I part of me felt like I said I knew it would come to this. All roads in AEW lead to Jeff Jarrett.
Jeff Jarrett.
All roads in AEW lead to Jeff Jarrett some way, somehow, some fashion. It always leads to Jeff Jarrett. So I was just like, this might be it, y'all. I said, this might be it. And then I said, oh, they in Kentucky too. I said, this really might be it. This really might be it. Then the Acclaim came out first. Max Caster was rapping for his life today.
Okay, Max Caster, I need to know the explicit version of the rap because they just kept on putting sound clips over it. I'm like, and at first I thought I was tripping, right? So I'm listening, and then I hear like him rapping, and then I hear whoa, 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 and I was like,
well, okay, so I was listening to the fight stream, so like it's not edited at all. So like it was like full. I said, oh, you going stupid today. So I said, he was rapping for his life.
What was he saying?
I'm gonna be honest. Once I figured out that this was the partnership they were going with, that's when I had started to tune out. That was right almost when I went to go make my tea.
Okay. I appreciate your honesty.
I just heard a couple expletives. I said, whoa there.
On the Wednesday night television.
I said, I would have rather heard bravo. At that point, like, one thing about Jeff Jarrett, y'all can say whatever y'all want about him, but I've never left a Jeff Jarrett match not entertained. I have never left a Jeff Jarrett match not entertained. Like, one of my favorite moments this year was when Kenny Omega and Jeff Jarrett came face to face. Now that's cinema. Now that's cinema. But yeah, so we had that. And then the world champion comes out in pink.
I love it. I loved it.
I did. How do I say it? I liked the fit. However, I just don't think I don't think that's what we should be doing.
You don't think he should have been in the pink?
No, I just don't think we should have been in that match scenario in the first place.
I agree with you.
But if we're going to do it, the fit was fine. I tweeted this. I said I think more men in wrestling should wear pink.
Yes, and the guns in their gear. Whew, Lord have mercy. The guns don't miss.
The guns get it. And I will say, Bullet Club Gold as a whole gets it.
Yes.
They get it. They get it with the entrance. And I think it's also what really helps is because Jay White and Juice Robinson come from Japan. And I think that there's this misconception sometimes for American audiences who aren't familiar with New Japan, who just assumes that it's all wrestling. When the truth is, Japanese wrestling is built off pageantry. Huge pageantry. Like if you watch a Wrestle Kingdom, if you see like the entrances, like the outfits, and especially foreigners have to work 10 times as hard, I think, sometimes to connect with those audiences because they don't speak the language. So you see people really have to go in on like, their presentation. And I think that Jay White, the stuff that he did in New Japan is just proof of just how great he is. For him to be a Grand Slam champion, for him to even be an IWGP heavyweight champion at all as a foreigner, but then to be a Grand Slam champion by the age of 30, that's essentially unheard of. And so him and Juice have that background. Kennedy is very similar to like people who really get it of the power of a great entrance. And like they get it with the moving parts, with the swirling camera thing. Oh! Dude, oh! I love it. I love when they do that. I love when they do that thing that they be doing.
Funny story. Another funny story. My friends and I actually reenacted that for All Out.
I saw it. I saw the video.
Shout out to Casey over the moonsault. If you would have seen her running around to get the video, that was more entertaining than us actually doing the entrance. Girl, she was running.
You know what? This is a great idea. AEW, I'm going to give you this for free if you're listening. But I think that at shows, y'all should set up like a 360 booth. You're thinking it too. And maybe like even if y'all do it like in the press rooms, like during media scrum, because there's always like I hate to say it because Tony be late. There's always about 45 minutes when people just sitting in that room not doing shit, waiting for him. Like people be chatting, like how a little 360 booth set up.
Or you know what? Even at these fan fest, every time I go to a fan fest, I see that there's like open spaces where they can include something like this. I mean, I honestly, even if they did it for a price, even if they did it for $20, not the $40 for Card Blade, $20 to do the entrance, I think people would pay it.
Absolutely. It was so packed at All In that even though I had paid for the fan fest, I didn't even get in there. I'm gonna be honest. I was just mentally getting there. Because the night I had Buffalo, I had a time that night. So just the fact to get to Wembley Park was just the blood of the lamb had to touch me, amen. But I did hear a lot of people who were disappointed by Fan Fest at All In because they were just like, oh, it wasn't really this is enough stuff to do. There wasn't like it just wasn't what people were expecting. And I do think like there's some things that could be added to really add to that fan experience. And I think that this is definitely one of those things. So yeah, that one's free. AEW, the next one, call us. Get that 360 booth up and running. But the match happened.
It did happen.
The match happened. And then y'all's world champion got pinned. In that match. And it's not even taking after he got to break the god of pro wrestling's record as the longest reigning AEW world champion this week. Y'all let that man get pinned in the center of the ring, and he doesn't even have the AEW world title belt heading into Full Gear. Now, if that's not some buffoonery, I don't know what is. The way that I hollered, I cackled for a solid 5 minutes straight. I couldn't stop laughing. I had to wipe tears from my eyes. Because is this a joke? Is this a joke? And I'm going to say something really controversial. It was some of y'all who was saying on Twitter, well, Swerve can't be world champion because he's not world champion material. This shit is world champion material. I would like to know that. I would like to know that. Is this the world champion material that you speak of?
He was tired from running around all night trying to find 3 partners. That's his excuse.
Listen, MJF, you're a liar. And let me tell you why. Because you talk about, oh, looking for partners. I'm looking for partners. So you just randomly had a pink Burberry scarf just sitting in your bag.
No, you saw that they gave him the trash bag full of gear.
Trash bag. I saw the trash bag. Buffoonery. And I thought you the devil, Max. You do what you want to do.
Well, I'm trying to play devil's advocate. Maybe Max Caster, he knows MJF's type. So he knows that he needs a pink Burberry scarf to go with his fit.
And here's the thing, and I'm not negating that. I'm not negating that at all. But what I'm saying is, Max, you knew good and well that you've screwed over half the locker room at some point. You knew good and well that you ain't had no friends. You knew good and well that none of these people wanted to partner with you. And you knew good and well you was going to have to partner with them people, or you was going to have to go to Samoa Joe, but you don't want to go to Samoa Joe because you know he's going to beat your ass. So then you already knew what was up. You knew what it was and what it wasn't before we got here. Okay? You knew what it was and what it ain't.
I want to see the whole list that he had.
There was nothing on it. There was nothing on it. Nobody was there. The limit, what did they say on Mean Girls? The limit does not exist. The limit does not exist. This is the Dynamite Book. And so I just want to know why y'all world champion getting paid and don't even got his own belt to go into full gear, but he allowed to break my GOAT's record. Because let me tell you something, when Kenny Omega, and also I'm gonna be honest, y'all want to be Kenny so bad because Kenny, nobody could do pink like Kenny Omega.
Yeah, he looked good last week, didn't he?
Kenny put that shit on.
He did.
He did.
He put that shit on.
When he got in the ring and then that one wing dropped and he became the one-winged angel. Oh, now that's cinema, baby. Now that's presence. That's what the girls call aura. Aura. And his sequins. And his fuchsia. I'm sorry, guys. Especially after Kenny don't wear that pink on Saturday. I mean, that pink Burberry scarf, cool, I guess. But after Kenny, he gave us feathers.
He sure did.
Feathers. I'm sorry.
He showed up and showed out in that fit.
And
when they showed the clip earlier, like before the show was starting, and I was like, oh, that was a good fit.
He gives the girlies what we want to see. He gives us. I always think that there's a balance because I think a lot of times people get called a star in wrestling based off of there's a lot of people who are called stars based off of looks, but don't have the talent. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of people who are very talented, but they're boring as hell. Mm-hmm. Kenny Omega is the perfect mix of just, damn, you the best wrestler in the world, and you be putting that shit on. Like, it don't get no better than that. It don't get no better than that. Hello? Like, it's very few people who really cut from that cloth. And it's him and maybe like Mercedes. That's it. Like, they really cut from that cloth of like, yes, I'm the best wrestler in the world, but yes, I can outdress any one of y'all on any given day. Like, I'm going to give you a fashion show and I'm going to beat your ass. Like, You can't beat that.
Well, hey, at least MJF got up and he scissored the Acclaimed to end the show. He doesn't have a belt, but he can scissor.
He got one Ring of Honor Tag Team Championship belt. He don't got the AEW World Tag, but I got a scissor in my heart. Amen. We're in hell. I don't know. And I'm gonna be honest, for all of y'all who laughed at me and y'all called me all this, that, and the third, this last week when I said we stuck in the on Saturday when I said we stuck in MJF versus real, Oh, you don't know what that even means. Oh, well, you're being too harsh. Now what? This didn't feel very Codyverse to you? Because what are we doing? This felt very Codyverse to me. He might as well have teamed up with QT Marshall.
Why the shade for QT Marshall?
Now, low. Please.
You don't watch QTV?
No.
Oh.
No. QT versus...
Let's just turn the page of that.
QT is literally like, bro, QT is trying to convince everybody he is the face of Latin American wrestling because y'all let him go to AAA one good time, and AAA had a terrible card, and he somehow ended up having one of the matches of the night. Now, that's sad. That's when I knew that AAA was in the mud. Because if QT pull up to your shit and he's having match of the night, we need to reevaluate. Not saying that he's a terrible wrestler, but like, this man should not be the star of the show. If he is the star of the show, we need to talk.
Oh.
Like, there were 2 good matches on that card. I kid you not. The last Triple Mania.
Mm-hmm. I do remember reading about that.
It was Penta versus QT. Mm-hmm. They had an ambulance match. It was really good. And then, of course, you had Kenny Omega versus Vikingo, which was great. Mm-hmm. That's it. That was it. Everything else was terrible. Just terrible. Terrible. People in the chat, facts. Exactly. If you watch it, terrible show. Terrible show. What Aretha Franklin said, great gowns, beautiful gowns. Terrible show. Terrible gowns.
Oh, my God.
Terrible show. Terrible gowns. It was awful. And it's I've seen very few wrestling shows that are just that top to bottom, like, damn, terrible. You know what it felt like? It felt like Double or Nothing 2023, where almost every match was terrible until like the last 2. That's what it felt like.
Damn, I was there.
Yeah, Double or Nothing 2023. I can't even rewatch it unless I fast forward past the first 2 hours. I just got to start at the TBS Championship match and just assume that the show starts there.
Oh my God.
Because that Jericho Cole match was awful.
Yeah, that wasn't a good one. It wasn't.
It was not good. It was not good at all.
They tried.
Crazy. Listen, that Penta and QT match slapped at AAA. I'm gonna give you that. But if QT gotta save your show, we need to talk. We need to talk. But I digress. Double or Nothing 2023 feels like a whole other company compared to all AEW pay-per-views. Truly, the only match that actually felt like true AEW on that card was the Anarchy in the Arena.
Yes.
Yeah, like that felt like classic AEW. Everything, even though the 4 Pillars match was good, like, why the fuck is Darby in like an Elvis suit, and then Max coming out doing that same devil entrance that he be doing with the little throne and stuff? Like, how many times you gonna do that? I'm tired of it. I'm tired
of this, Grandpa.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa. That's too damn bad. I'm tired of it. I've had enough. Then Sammy, I don't know what Sammy do. What he do? Like, it was just a lot. So
that was a heartfelt moment for him.
Anarchy or in the Arena. Oh yeah, I forgot they announced the baby there. I mean, yes. that was cool. Then Jack, I don't know what he was doing. That was right before he turned like heel.
Yeah.
I think that was one of the last times we did the whoa. That's your world champion, man. I don't know.
We'll see him at Full Gear.
Twice. Now, what did I do?
Got him on the pre-show and the actual show.
Now, what did I do to deserve this? Now, I'm gonna be honest. If y'all put him on the 0 hour again, if he goes on the real card, and y'all put Athena on the 0 hour again, I'm breaking my foot off in somebody's ass. Enough. I've had it.
I do agree with you.
Do not come. Do not come. Do not come. I've had enough. I've had enough. You mean to tell me he get 2 matches on this card, and then y'all gonna try to have the nerve to have him win both of them? Ooh, I'm gonna throw my shoe.
Well, who do you think his partner is going to be?
Samoa Joe. He's probably going. It's either gonna be Samoa Joe or Roddy. Or if they really want to give me a present, he won't have a partner and he'll lose.
Not the giggle. What an episode of Dynamite.
You know, hey, I will say, I feel like this episode was a lot more fun than the Dynamite book was more fun than Dynamite tonight.
Yes, I agree.
It was. But shout out to, the bad bitches on Dynamite. Willow and Sheeta held it down. I got my Sheeta Shining Samurai t-shirt on. Who else held it down on? Christian Cage. That I was going to say that man of God, that man of that father, the father that we.
Yeah, I mean, you see the signs in the audience.
That father. He's not the stepfather. He's the father that stepped up. Who else?
Or to the people in the audience, he's daddy.
Absolutely. Who else stepped up tonight? Orange Cassidy, John Moxley, Claudio. Y'all did what y'all need to do. Shout out to y'all.
Big Show stepped up. Paul White stepped up. He stepped up to the challenge. We will see him in Ontario.
Those knees didn't step anywhere. Anyway, Kenny Omega, you look amazing as always. Your curls are popping. I always tell people when Kenny's curls are well conditioned, y'all should be very afraid. Y'all should be very afraid. Like when he started taking care of his hair, that means because what people don't realize is that when we get close to Wrestle Kingdom, when Kenny is about to go back to Japan, and it happened a little bit last year, that's when he really start getting into his bag and really start like getting in his best physical condition. When he gets back in his, you can tell like when he start getting his look together. Because last year around this time, that's when he put them extensions in, and he was getting ready for Wrestle Kingdom because that's his big shaboing. Like that's his big thing. So like Kenny's already getting in that shape. He really always he getting back in that mood. He doing his cosplays again. He on his Zoom.
He is on his Zoom.
Kenny's on his Zoom,
and he's about to be on his Zoom with his boo Coda.
Period. And like I'm telling y'all, like bro, when Kenny Omega really, when he gets rid of Don Callis and he starts reminding y'all who he is and that he's really him, stop playing with him, bro. Stop playing with him. Stop playing with him. Period. I want y'all to stop playing with him. That's it. Enough. And so, bro, that's that. I just want to say that I'll be at Wrestle Kingdom. I'll be there. I know you're not supposed to scream and stuff a lot, but oh well, y'all just gonna have to kick me out. Yeah. Did you have anything before we read Slam Chats and get out of here?
No, I don't have anything else.
Alrighty, let's read the Slam Chats. Oh, wait, they were starred. My fault. Slam Chats Rest Friend said, can't wait to watch you ladies every week. Thank you so very much. We appreciate you. Amanda Savage said, yes, let's go, ladies. So proud and so happy for you. I can't wait to watch every week. Thank you so much.
Thank
Amanda.
you.
Adrian said, leaving this one on episode 1 to look back on it during episode 100 and 1000. Congrats. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think this is Cassidy saying, so happy to have you both part of the BodySlam fam. We are appreciative to be a part. We have SP3 saying, congratulations, ladies, on the start of your new post show. I know that you two are needed and knowledgeable voices that the fan base has been searching for. Lyric and Lo, the Dynamite duo.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's it. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm super excited to be doing this show. This is really fun. I've never really done a Dynamite after show, actually. So like this is a first for me. Like Wednesdays are always super crazy for me because like I have class. I get home with like 10 minutes to spare, put a frozen dinner in the microwave, then turn on Dynamite, and then I come on here now. So that's my new Wednesday routine. So I'm looking forward to it. Nice and like, you know, chaotic, just like me. And so where can the people find you, Lo?
They can find me over at WWDCAST. We have merch, shop.wrestlingwindownlv.com. I have on the Bad Bitches Love Wrestling shirt. And we have a lot of stuff coming soon, so make sure you pay attention there. And we'll be dropping a new episode of Chardonnay and Cheese Made with Iridian Fierro this weekend.
Bum, bum, bum. And you can find me at Lyric Wrestling. Yes, I've been holding people's feet to the fire about getting the women in the rooms and the press conferences and the media scrums. Really excited about some of the things that have actually come together. And so hopefully you'll start seeing some results soon. I'm super excited. You can find Maps and Graps every Thursday. I'll be streaming tomorrow at 3 p.m. And talking about all of the chaos from the week as it relates to Japanese wrestling, updates on Super Junior Tag League. And tomorrow night at 9 p.m. EST, I will be co-hosting a space on Twitter with Sierra Reed about being women of color in wrestling media, productive conversations only. So I just want to get out of the way. If pull up, feel free. But we talking about, we standing on business, and we're talking about solutions, and so that's gonna be great. And I have some really cool interviews coming up. I can't wait for everybody to see them, and of course we're gonna be a full gear.
Yes.
Some great content is going to be coming soon. Pictures, probably some videos and stuff. So that's going to be super exciting. You'll see the Dynamite Book represented at AEW Full Gear. And so that's going to be a lot of fun. Alrighty, well, I think we should probably get like an intro and outro video. So like, just pretend that there's one here.
Yeah, I mean,
we'll probably get that done in the future. But until next time, everybody, we'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.